Monday. Welcome to my Monday mobility class session, whatever you want to call it, workout. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. It's definitely Monday. I think I say that every Monday. It just seems like I don't get any sleep on the weekends and I am lacking. And I realize that every single clock in my house has a different time, so I'm not really sure. This clock over here says 3 till 7:30, but I have no idea what time it is because, like I said, every clock is different. Let's get started today. We're going to use the foam roller pretty much for almost every single move today. We're going to work on releasing the back and the hips. So what that does, when we release those hips, it releases the tension in our back, and for the most part, most of our back pain. Now, it's not all the reason why we have back pain, but it is a big proponent to the back pain. When those hips get locked down, it goes right into that lower back. So we're going to work on releasing the hips, and then we'll move into the quads a little bit, see what how much we have time for today. Let's get going. So go ahead and grab the roller. Actually, we're going to set the roller aside. I'd like to start with a cat-cow just to kind of get the spine moving and warm the body up just a little bit before we start. So on all fours, we're going to go ahead and push up into that cat position, using the breath, lifting the chin, nice and slowly moving with the breath. Just working on opening up that spine, noticing what's tight today or how tight the spine is. Just going to do one more in each direction. Nice. Now go ahead and grab the roller. We're going to set it sideways or lengthwise to our body, and we're going to go ahead and lay on that roller. Now if you have a short roller, that's okay. Just make do with what you've got. You might need to lift the head up a little bit, hold your head. Okay, we're going to open up the chest, so balancing on that roller. We're just going to open up and breathe here. Just a little chest stretch, maybe front of the shoulders, a little bit of the back. Depending on what's going on in your body today, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Okay, I'm going to play my arm position, raise them up a little bit. Allowing things to relax, using that breath. Okay, play with the position again, move it down. Find that you'll get a little different stretch as you bring it down lower. For me here, it's more the front of the shoulder, a little bit more into the pec. Obviously, that's a tight area for me right now. I'll have to address that some more later. And we're just going to slowly fan those arms up and then down, kind of a snow angel style, nice and slow. Just getting some things moving. Big movements all the way up. Reach and stretch and all the way back down. Let's do it one more time. Up and all the way back down. Nice. Okay, go ahead and slowly come on off that roller. Turn that roller the other direction. And we're going to roll out our lats. Okay, directly connected into our back. Oftentimes they're very tight, or we can go both directions. We won't get into that right now. Okay, and right in that armpit area, around the edge of the shoulder blade there, arms stretched out over the top. I'm just rolling forward and backward over that area. What you're doing is looking for a tender spot. So tender tissue, something's going on there. So that's what you want to find. I'm going to roll down on the roller. The roller's rolling down on that shoulder blade. Same thing over across into some of the rotator cuff muscles in the back there. Oftentimes they're very tender. They're overused and a little weaker. Oftentimes. Again, using the breath, trying to relax. Now it's hard when things are really tender, but try your best. Switch to the other side. I'm going to turn my roller around so you don't look at the back of my head. Getting the other side here, starting high up in that armpit area, right on the edge of that shoulder. And just rocking forward and backward. Looking for those tender spots. So roll down or up on that roller, depending on what you find. A lot of people, it'll be down a little bit further towards the bottom of the shoulder blade. They'll find some tender spots. But that's totally individual. Couple more times.
Halfway there.
Halfway there already, guys. And one more backwards across that rotator cuff. Maybe get a little bit of a grind there. Up and down, depending what you find. And rolling forward again. Okay, go ahead and come on up onto all fours. Just real quick, put those hands on top of the roller. Hands are about shoulder width or outside the shoulders. We're just going to do a little stretch here now that we've rolled on those lats. And I like to rock side to side. I do a lot of rocking motions when I stretch. It feels good. It allows me to go a little deeper with the movement a lot of times. Okay, so let's go ahead and take that roller. What we're going to work on now, we're going to move to the hip area. So we're going to address the TFL. So TFL is right where if you had a pocket in your jeans and you stick your hand in your pocket, it's right where you go to stick that hand in the pocket. So if you find the bony protrusion of your hip bone here, it's right below that. So we're not going to be on the bone, we're going to be on the soft spot. You'll know you're in the right spot because you'll feel it. Most people, this is a very tender area. And I'm just going to rock forward more, flattening out my body, and then rocking more towards the side. And again, back and forth, trying to relax. So if you can lay down into it, great. If you need to prop yourself up, that's fine too. But see if you can relax your body. A lot of times when we prop ourselves up in this position, we get really tense and we grip. So try to relax. The more you're gripping, the less your body is letting go. You do a lot of sitting. This is an area that gets tight. This is an area that will affect your lower back. Just moving back and forth, looking for all the good stuff. If you find a good tender spot, you can do a little grind up and down. But again, keep breathing. Okay, so we're going to stay on this side of our body, on this leg for now. Let's move down the quad a little bit. So I'm just going to show you really quick. We're aiming for this section here. I don't know if you can see me there. This section right in the middle. Okay? So we're going to come down on the quad, right in that middle section. Again, trying to relax. If you can drop your upper body to the ground, that's great. If you need to prop up, that's fine too. Just try to relax. We're going to go about midway down that quad. Okay, looking again for tender spots. Once you find a tender spot, give it a little lift up with the heel, bringing the heel towards the glutes. So you're pinning that tender spot down, and then you're moving that muscle through a range of motion. So up and down. And again, the more tender the spot, I know you want to get off of it, but stay on it. That's the spot that needs it. Okay, I'm just going to kind of search again for some spots. You can do a little side-to-side motion if you'd like. Just working motion into that release. And I'm kind of moving the roller up or down my leg as I move my leg. So just kind of stretching different areas of tissue there. We're almost done with this side. Really quick, I know we only have a couple minutes left, but go ahead and come onto the top side of your glute. So glute minimus and medius is what those are. right below the hip bone, so it's pretty high up. Just give it a little roll. I like to refer to rolling as like ironing out the tissue. I know some people would disagree, but I think that's a good visual of what's happening. We're kind of rolling through that tissue, ironing it out. If you want to think of saran wrap, we're stretching that saran wrap because the saran wrap gets really bunched up and it's hard to open up. We're stretching it out. Okay, so just real quick on this side. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. That way we have time to get this done. TFL right on the front of that hip again. So right below that bony part of the front of the hip. Oh, and this side's really tight on me. How does the sides compare for you guys? Check it out. There's always one side that's a little bit tighter than the other. So I'm just rocking forward and backwards. Gonna remind myself to relax as well. Right across the soft part of the top of the hip. Remember, no bony spots. Don't put the roller on your bones. Only soft spots. We all have them. Find them. Remember, the more tender it is, the more it needs it. Tissue should not be tender. Unless you just worked out, which I did not just work out. So, it should not be tender. Oh wait, I ran yesterday. I guess I lied. I worked out yesterday. Just kidding. A little bit longer here, forward and backward. Couple more times. So it says we're done, but I still have you for 2 minutes because I set my timer for 12 minutes today. All right, so let's go ahead and roll over onto the front of that quad. So again, we're just working from the top of the quad down to the middle, searching for those tender spots, trying to relax. Once you find one, go ahead and bring that knee up, heel to the butt, and back down again. We're flexing and extending that leg. Notice where the tightness is for you. For some people, it's going to be a little higher on that quad. For other people, it might be more towards the middle of the quad. For some people, it might be down towards the kneecap. So it just depends on the person, on the activity you've been doing. For me, it's more the top of the quad right now. And that changes day to day. So it's also important to take note of how you feel each day. You can do the same mobility or stretches every single day, and you'll find that it changes depending on what you've been doing, what your activity's been, how your hydration is, your nutrition, your sleep. Everything affects the way our body moves and feels. Stress, that's a big one. I'm going to talk about that this week because it's been a little stressful here for me. We're getting ready to move again, so it's been a little stressful, but we'll talk about that another time. Couple more back and forth with the leg, up and down on the roller. Making sure to breathe, make sure you're not holding your breath. Okay, so real quick, we're just gonna roll onto that upper glute, glute med and minimus. And we're just going to roll back and forth, just a quick little ironing it out. Those muscles, the glute minimus and medius, have a tendency to overwork. So when we talk about our glutes firing or not firing, the minimus and medius, which are smaller muscles and more stabilizer glute muscles, have a tendency to kind of take over for the glute max, which is the bigger butt muscle. And it gets a little tense, and a lot of times is, another cause of some lower back aches and pains and spasming and whatnot. So sometimes if you're feeling real tight in that lower back, some of the areas I just addressed with you, the lats, the TFL, the front of the hip, this glute minimus and medius area, go to those first, check them out, see how they feel. Foam roller is a good tool to go to. If you need a little bit extra release or pressure, you can always go to a softball or they have those 5-6-inch little trigger point balls. Those are really handy too. They're a little more forgiving than a softball. Or you can always go to the lacrosse ball as well. I know some people don't like the lacrosse ball because you can actually trap some nerves in there as well. You'll know if you're on a nerve because it won't feel very good. It'll feel a little different than what you feel when you're on the right tissue spot, nice trigger point area. So anyways, that's our 10-minute mobility today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any additional questions or you want to see something addressed in any of my videos, whether it's the mobility video or stuff that I'm posting on my Facebook pages, go ahead and either send me a DM or you can comment in the comment section. So make it a great week, guys. Enjoy. See you later.